Welcome back to What's Niggling Me. Today I am not going to start off with an intro, not a poem. I'm going to start off with something not many people have seen, unfortunately. I think it leaves a lot of people dumbfounded. Let's just roll the tape. Take a listen.
Hello everyone, I'm Anita Cicero, Deputy Director of the Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, and today I will be your Master of Ceremonies for Event 201. On behalf of our center and our partners, the World Economic Forum and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to our audience here in New York, as well as our larger virtual audience participating online today. The goal of the Event 201 exercise is to illustrate the potential consequences of a pandemic and the kinds of societal and economic challenges it would pose. This scenario also highlights the very critical role that global business and public-private partnerships play in preparing for and responding to pandemics. Today's scenario is going to simulate meetings of a multi-stakeholder group called the Pandemic Emergency Board. This board has been urgently convened by the World Economic Forum, and Johns Hopkins has been asked to moderate the board meetings and provide expertise during the board's deliberations. The mission of the Pandemic Emergency Board is to provide recommendations to deal with the major global challenges arising in response to an unfolding pandemic. The board is comprised of highly experienced leaders from business, public health, and civil society. The board's recommendations are aimed at top decision makers in national governments, global business, and international organizations.
Did you hear that? And did you hear the names involved? What if I told you that took place in 2019? In October 2019, October 18th, 2019. What's wrong with that timeline? Why is Bill Gates part of a pandemic, a fictional pandemic response team? Why was he the face, along with Anthony Fauci, when there was a pandemic half a year later? Christy Freeland, the woman who just resigned, that was going to get fired and is going to come for Justin Trudeau's spot to try and be the Prime Minister of Canada, is part of the World Economic Forum. So she knew about this Event 201 in October 2019, and Canada has handled the pandemic and post-pandemic horribly. Our economy is a fucking disaster. So just like people, you can go out there and look up Event 201 and you can watch for yourself them simulate a pandemic response and see if they handled that correctly in 2020. It's weird, right? And then let's not forget Anthony Fauci. Are people gonna fucking finally wake up and realize they're being manipulated and lied to. And it's well thought out. Show me the injection studies. Show me the shot studies. I heard hepatitis B studies are pretty interesting. I can't wait for RFK Jr. to get in there and expose the fucking bullshit going on in the fucking pharmaceutical industry. Put out an experimental shot less than a year after it got started being put together, apparently. Who knows? I do know that somebody else was supposed to work on it, and then the military got the contract. But there's no liability. If it killed every person that took the shot, there would be zero liability for the pharmaceutical companies. Johnson & Johnson was approved to make a shot, and for some reason they only needed one shot. They didn't need two. After they had paid out billions of dollars to people that got, I'm pretty sure it was ovarian cancer from talcum powder. Imagine being losing a lawsuit for billions of dollars and having to pay it out, and then getting approval for a vaccine. Not even a vaccine, because that's not what that is. That's not the technical definition until they changed it. Imagine that, and people just blindly followed like sheep. I posted on my Instagram stories constantly. It was misinformation, but they deemed. Imagine trusting those companies with your health and safety, while the majority of products in the grocery store are fucking processed food. Because it's cheap and they can make a lot of profit. Not worried about your health and safety whatsoever. Pretty fucking wild, eh? Please don't be fooled the next time. And next time is, I'm telling you, going into Iran is the plan. I'm not a fan. I do not support killing people. Oh, I seen Trump was is suing Bob Woodward. He's got a lot of lawsuits lined up for people fucking calling him a rapist, a Nazi, fucking all this fucking bullshit. And they deserve it, because you can't just fucking slander people like that and have zero accountability. So he's suing Bob Woodward. Bob Woodward, in my opinion, from what I read, not what is told in the mainstream, that guy is a CIA plant, always been for decades. He's the one that his first story was the Nixon story, the Watergate story. It was given to him. It doesn't make any sense when you go back and look at it. There's no way that he was doing what they were doing. There's no way he was getting a subliminal message in the newspaper and he was going and checking. He just wasn't doing it. It's a lie, Bob Woodward. You deserve it. It's nice that your whole career gets taken down at the end. Haha. Kind of like Peter Nygaard and that other piece of garbage from Magnum that owns Magnum. These Canadian billionaires. Pieces of shit, you know? they would be on my separating the art from the artist, but most common people don't know them. I tried to name more commonly known people, but those two billionaires, Peter Nygaard and the Magnum guy, I can't think what his name is. They're like 80, 90 years old going to jail because of the shit they did to people. That's disgusting. Oh. I realized I talked a lot of shit yesterday about women's basketball. And I'd like to clarify. I'd like to elaborate on my stance. And I'm sticking to 100% what I said. I'd just like to add some additional notes. Women's basketball, it's not entertaining to watch if you're a guy. You're lying if you say it is, or you have your kids playing, or your family members playing. That's the only way. Be fucking honest. If you're a guy, be honest. You don't enjoy watching women's basketball unless it's a family member playing, or you like the girl. That's it. Women's hockey, let's be honest, exact same situation. The quality of that, you can take high school hockey teams and beat every women's professional hockey team. I get the inclusivity thing. It's just not entertaining. Now, women's tennis is way more entertaining. You have to understand the athleticism. Women's tennis players, you take no high school guy is going out there and beating Serena Williams or Coco Gauff or Naomi Osaka. They're just not beating these girls. I don't think most people, I've had this idea, I don't have the money for it obviously, I've had this idea that there used to be this show called Pros vs. Joes, and it was like, I think I would do pretty good, but it was average day people, maybe they played some sports when they were younger, and they go and play against, they go and do, I don't even know, I don't got an example for you. They go fucking play one-on-one with Hakeem Olajuwon. Wild to think about, especially if I did that. Or they go and play, they gotta stop Derrick Henry from scoring a touchdown from the 10-yard line or something, one-on-one. Like, just some crazy shit. I'm not saying I could do any of those things. I'm just gave you some pretty wild examples if you know who those athletes are. I think that there should be a female one. This would give, if you want to give women's athletics and sports any credibility, this is the thing to do it. ESPN, Disney, you own fucking everything. If some low-level person ever pitches this idea and I see it on any of those networks, I know it was me. Pros versus, I can't even imagine the female name of those shoes. Okay, so tennis. You take Serena Williams and you go put any guy out there, they're not even going to win a set. Unless that person plays in college, unless a guy plays in college or better, he's not beating any professional women in tennis. I'm not going to go out there. I wouldn't go out there and expect to return one serve from Serena Williams, and I'm pretty decent at tennis, and I wouldn't probably be able to return one serve and never get an ace. Who knows if we went 3 sets if I'd ever get a point, being completely honest. Now, I'll go play hockey against any woman out there. I know I'm better. No offense. There's just the athleticism is not there for hockey. Is not there for hockey or basketball. I do not want to sound horrible. That's not my intent. There are certain sports that women are exceptional at, and Tennis is one of them. That's my top one, that the average man can't beat a professional women's tennis player, let alone have any chance. Women's volleyball at a professional level is, now the net is lower. It's an issue. Visually it's awesome, but it's pretty impressive. If you watch women, even if you go watch Sean Taylor's daughter plays college volleyball. If you watch, it's pretty impressive. They can jump high as fuck. Those women, and women ratio-wise are not very good at jumping. So there's a lot of good women jumpers right there. They can smash the ball. They can't go play with men, but it's watchable and entertaining. Women's volleyball, women's tennis, not soccer. That's hilarious as well. Women's soccer is just far slower than men's soccer. They just can't kick the ball like the men can. You could take a probably under 14 or 15 team from almost every continent that would beat whoever won the Olympics last year or this current year. Women's soccer, no offense, I've seen some great dribblers. I've seen some females that can dribble the ball exceptional. There's just the athleticism issue, the speed and power. Women's track, there's some great sports. The high jump, sprinting. There's some fantastic women that would beat the majority of human men in a sprint. Those women at the top level, the professionals. Any man, you could do that any track event. Mostly you could do the pros versus, I don't know, Sally's. I don't fucking know. I just know that they'd pick a hilarious one. Because that's how TV and network garbage is. So like there's good women athletes. There's just a difference between us. And what a guy can do is faster and more explosive. Money talks. Unfortunately, it's the hard facts. So I'm not ragging on women, sports in general. It's just the lack of explosiveness issue. It's like if you watch junior hockey and then you watch the NHL, there's clearly a speed difference in men, like both men, boys and men, women and men. It's completely different. I think it's good if women work out. Women can be real strong. Women can squat and deadlift fuckloads. There's tons of women out there that can squat and deadlift more than tons of guys. Can't bench because that's not how. Not that they can't bench. It's just anatomy. Women got these hips for power. Generally. Enough with that. Side note. I don't know if you know Whitney Cummings. I actually meant to put her sweatshirt on. I got a good for you sweatshirt I got years ago. Because, yeah, she's a female comedian and people don't like that. But she was an OG. I respect that she was like she's been in the game. She's not an OG, but she's been in the game for a long time. Made bank. She put a lot of people on. That's why I respect Whitney Cummings. A lot of people say a lot of things about Whitney Cummings. She put a lot of people on, and I respect that. She's made fat stacks of money being a writer. that made her fuckloads of money. Being a writer. That Chris D'Elia show. The Two Broke Girl show. She made fat stacks. She put people on. She helped Tim Dillon. She helped Tim Dillon a ton. So did Joe Rogan, but like the connections, the people that he got to meet, she helped Tim Dillon a ton. She puts people on and can get laughed at. And a lot of people, no offense, women, like, she's thick-skinned. People don't like Whitney Cummings, but why I'm bringing her up. I saw her on Matan Evanoff's podcast, and that kid's fucking funny because he's smart and witty. He's intelligent for that age. He's intelligent, like, and he's witty. And he had Whitney Cummings on his podcast, which is incredible. The guy's got like 1 million subscribers now. He's blown up so fast. He got Whitney Cummings on. And he was so rude to her. It's crazy. I can't even imagine saying things to someone's face like that. And then today I'm at the gym this morning, and one TV's got SportsCenter or something. And one TV's got like CTV is what it's called. Canadian fucking television. I don't fucking know. I don't watch TV. That's for older people. And they got the show, I think what it used to be was Regis and Kathy Lee when I was growing up. And then Kelly, Ripa, like, I don't know what their last names are. And she's married to this guy that she's having this show with. And his teeth are always like out. They're obviously not real. But, and he's got a bunch of, his face doesn't move a ton. He's got a lot of shit in his face. Mark, I think Mark and Kelly is the TV show. Mark and Kelly. And I literally just seen Whitney on Vatan's podcast where, spoiler, he calls her transgender to her face. That she looks like she's transgender. And then she goes on that show, which is so gay. It is, that type of TV makes me laugh. I just seen, you know who was on there yesterday? I don't know the reason. Probably because comedy's killing it. And they had Nikki Glaser on there. She was already doing good, and Netflix really blew her up that she did that Tom Brady roast and did well. So she's killing it. And she does tons of late night shit, but it's funny to see her on there. Like, that show is so scripted and fake. Who else did I see the other day? She's so hot. Zoe Saldana. Whew, that girl is beautiful. I seen Keira Knightley. I see all these people on this shit while I'm working out every fucking morning. It's so fake. They rehearse the shit beforehand and they know all the questions. It's so fake entertainment. The real world is so much more entertaining than that garbage. And there's no volume on this TV and no subtitles. And I'll be watching between my sets, like, laughing. It looks so funny because I can't hear it. It's a joke. So I'm watching these people's animations. Hilarious. I heard Candace Owens last night. She was talking to Piers Morgan. And Candace Owens is so funny. Candace Owens' funniest episode ever is, there's a few. One of the ones, there's one where she There's one where she is talking. I think this is the one. She's talking to the person that wrote the story. I'm pretty sure that wrote the story that Bridget McCrone is a man. I think in that one. But even around that time, if you look up that podcast and you listen a little bit beforehand episodes and afterwards, because she's on that Bridget McCrone stuff, she says it with such conviction that it makes it so funny how determined she is that she knows Bridget McCrone is a man. Oh, it is hilarious. But what she said yesterday, with conviction, like she's like that. She's dead serious about this. Is she's talking to Pierce and she says, something along the lines of, I wouldn't even know Meghan Markle's black. You'd have to tell me. And I know she's just saying that to get a good, nice clip and talk shit, and it's a funny jab. They're both good-looking women. They're clearly not the same complexion. Meghan Markle, even if she's crazy because of living in the entertainment industry forever, she's gorgeous, undeniable, but I've let girls ruin my life. I've put the crazy beside and let it destroy me. Meghan Markle, pretty sure I would have done the same as any other guy and let her destroy my life. She's beautiful. Candace Owens, though, she's good looking, but her personality is a fucking 10. You could never win an argument with Candace Owens. It would be fucking just, holy shit. Can you imagine going in public and she would be an animal in public. I mean, like, if she felt wronged by anybody, imagine the conflicts, the verbal conflicts you'd constantly be in public. She's badass, though. She doesn't have any fear. She's so funny. And I'm telling you, when she took that jab that she wouldn't know that Meghan Markle was black, you'd have to tell her. Awesome. So funny. She's clearly gorgeous, light-skinned woman. I'd rather have Alicia Keys, but come on. Ooh. I noticed that, I think I mentioned Saudi Arabia in one of my first episodes. They're so quiet. They're loud, but they're quiet. Saudi Arabia, I did see a thing. Oh, fuck, do I got it? Saudi Arabia announces LGBTQ plus individuals will be safe and warmly welcomed at the 2034 FIFA World Cup. So this guy, you see that guy? Mohammed bin Salman. He is, I think, around my age. And he runs Saudi Arabia. It's a weird system. This weird sheik system. And he got supplanted in there unorthodoxly. Like, he shouldn't unorthodoxly. I don't even know if that's a word. But it was unorthodox the way he was installed. And that's not how their little system goes usually. And there's supposed to be this old guy. I feel, he and maybe the people around him, so that's why he is the one that was installed there. I think they feared the people might overthrow the government in a revolution, like all those countries did in 2000. When was that? 11? 2011. I think they were worried. They didn't want to have what Gaddafi, who nobody wants what they did to Gaddafi to ever happen to them. So, he's tried to westernize Saudi Arabia. That's what it is when it comes down to it. He's tried to westernize Saudi Arabia because I forget what the statistics were. I looked this up a long time ago. But a huge amount of the population is young now. Same in Palestine. Saudi Arabia used to be for Palestine, vote against any time for Israel. Saudi Arabia had Palestine's back for a long time. Till more recently. But that's a side note. Mohammed bin Salman, Saudi Arabia. They run an interesting game. They've been in a relationship with Britain for a long time, way before any of these other Arab countries around there besides Turkey. And they didn't have a relationship either. Britain took all those fucking countries and cut them all up. Cut all that land up and gave a bunch of people these countries. But Saudi Arabia, they were getting shit before that. Saudi Arabia in the 1800s, they were getting relations going with Britain. I don't trust Saudi Arabia. And I'm going to tell you one main example why you should not trust Saudi Arabia. On September 11th, Flight 77, the pilot was Saudi. 29-year-old Saudi. I don't really think I should be pronouncing these guys' names. I'm not very good at it. Hani, Salih, Hassan, Hanjur. I apologize if anyone gets offended that I don't pronounce these people's names correctly. Also, Flight 77, Khalid bin Mohammed bin Abdallah al-Minqar, Saudi, 26 years old. Majid, I don't know how to say it, M-U-Q-I-D, I don't know how to pronounce that. Mushan bin Ghanim, Saudi. Nawaf bin Muhammad Salim al-Hazmi, Saudi. And last person, the last hijacker on Flight 77? Salim Mohammed Salim Al Hazmi from Saudi Arabia. All of those people that hijacked Flight 77 were Saudi Arabian. Okay. We got this guy, the pilot. Ziad Jarrah. It's a Lebanese man. Another hijacker on Flight 93. Ahmad Al-Nami, Saudi Arabian. Ahmad Al-Haznawi. Yeah, I think that's how it is. He's from Saudi Arabia as well, though. 20 years old. Let me tell you, there's four planes, okay? That got hijacked. How old are the ages of these pilots that did these attacks? One's 33, one's 23, one's 29, one's 26. Okay, but back to Flight 93. So I believe we're at 5 hijackers, and only one wasn't Saudi so far. Said Al-Ghamdi, you know it's Saudi Arabian. And that's Flight 93. We did Flight 97. How about Flight 11? Mohammed Atta. I think you guys have heard of him. Egyptian. I'm still waiting on those Iraqi and Afghanistan people, eh? ABD. If there's any Arabic speaking people out there, I don't know how to pronounce ABD. Abd Al-Aziz Al-Umari. I possibly got the rest of that right, but I don't know how to pronounce ABD. He is a Saudi Arabian descent. And then we got Satam Al-Sakami. He is Saudi Arabian. And he also hijacked that plane with Wail, W-A-I-L, Wail Al-Shinri, Shari. Fuck, that's tough. But he's from Saudi Arabia. All of them have tough names to pronounce. Walid Al-Shari. Deep, these guys are brothers, eh? They look a lot alike, and obviously he's from Saudi Arabia. We got one flight left. Sounds like a lot of people from Saudi Arabia. Weird. The pilot, Faiz Ahmed. Nope, that's not him. The pilot was, why can't I read that name? Marwan Al-Shay, UAE, United American Emirates. Amd Al-Ghamdi, Saudi Arabia. Faiz Ahmed, UAE. Hamza Al-Ghamdi, Saudi Arabia. Mohand Al-Shari, Saudi Arabia. Why are all these people from Saudi Arabia committing terrorist attacks in the United States? How about I list you the current 27 detainees at Guantanamo Bay, and let me tell you where they're from. I'm not going to tell you their names, but I'm going to tell you: detained in 2002, Yemen; 2002, Yemen; 2002, Yemen; 2002, Tunisia; 2002, yeah, 2002, I don't even know. Oh, he was, they don't recognize Myanmar as a country. It's super fucking dangerous there. Let me start over here. That tripped me out that they were putting stateless, but really they're talking Myanmar. Okay, so these people that are in Guantanamo Bay, there's still 27 of them. This guy was detained, 2002. He's from Yemen. 2002. He's from Yemen. 2002. He's from Yemen. 2002. Person's from Tunisia. 2002. This person's from Myanmar. 2002. This person's from Yemen. 2002. This person's from Libya. 2002. This person's from Yemen. 2003. This person's from Yemen. 2003. This person's from Yemen. 2004. 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 This person's from Yemen. 2006. This person's from Somalia. His people aren't even charged with nothing. They're held in law of war detention, but recommended for transfer if security conditions met. They just fucking detain these people, no charges. They just feel like they have they're dangerous. They feel like they've committed a crime. Held in indefinite law of war detention and not recommended for transfer, okay? There's only 3 of these people. One is Palestinian, one's Libyan, one's Afghanistan. 2006 a Palestinian, 2006 a Libyan, 2008 an Afghan. Took them till 2008 to get in Afghanistan. Where are the people from Iraq? Charged in military commission system. This person's in Guantanamo Bay. Saudi Arabia. In 2006. 2006, Yemen. A Yemenis. 2006, a Yemenis. 2006, Saudi Arabian. 2006, Pakistan. 2006, Indonesian. 2006, Pakistan. Okay. So far, 1 Afghanistan. Now these people convicted in military commission system. Okay. 2002, Yemenis. 2007, Iraq. 2 total people. And this guy, this Iraqi, reached a secret plea agreement in 2002 so that Al-Tamir would serve no more than 10 years in confinement, regardless of what sentence he received from military jury. This guy waited from 2007 till 2022 to get that sentence. So if people did any research on this COVID thing, on the 9/11, you would start asking questions like me. and not fucking trust your government. Because that's the kind of stuff that should be on the news. Asking questions. What's fucking going on with Ghislaine Maxwell and fucking Epstein? Who did they traffic those hundreds of girls to? Hundreds and hundreds of girls. Look at the lawsuit with Deutsche Bank. Look at these lawsuits that they're paying off these girls to keep quiet, and they sign NDAs and they take a fucking lump sum. That's why Nick Bryan has Epstein Justice, to try and help these girls so they don't fucking take these lump sums and fucking sign an NDA and it just goes away. I want to know who the fuck Epstein trafficked these girls to. I know who. I'm very, very, very sure. And I want accountability for those fucking people. Fauci in jail. We want Fauci in jail. I want Fauci in jail like I want Justin Trudeau to step down right now and just hand Pierre Poilievre the government. Your turn. Saudi Arabia. They had Jamal Khashoggi go into the embassy in Turkey, and he never left alive. How about Adnan Khashoggi? He was one of the biggest arms dealers in the world. When he died, Trump bought his boat, or his yacht. Weird connections in the world. Weird connections. I don't know how much time I've been talking about. We're talking. But fuck Anthony Fauci. I'll wrap her up pretty quickly here. Anthony Fauci. I hope you go down. I hope your career gets ruined when Robert Kennedy gets in there and exposes all the dirty things you've been up to for my whole life, all these decades. Let's unravel Anthony Fauci's career, starting in the late 1980s. Justin Trudeau, no. I don't even care about that loser. Chrystia Freeland, I'm worried about her. World Economic Forum puppet. Globalist. Fuck that woman. She's way smarter than Kamala. And she's coming for that #1 spot. Do not trust her. Do not trust her. She loves carbon tax. She says climate change is an existential crisis. Not our housing, not our cost of living, not the homelessness, not the opiate crisis, the amount of overdoses that are going to happen this year. More overdoses happen in Canada than COVID deaths. It's fucked. No, I don't understand. Our immigration is out of control. We do not want Chrystia Freeland anywhere near any power. Across the street, there's a person that has a Fuck Trudeau flag in one window, and they have Let's Go Brandon flag in the other. It's fucking hilarious. Okay, that's good for today. Let me know if any of those things niggle you. And we'll see if I come across any more things that niggle me in the next 24 hours or so. Deuces.